Hitting ISOs. Our hitting ISOs is something that we've put together the last few years, and we feel like it actually helps simplify the swing for our baseball players. And we have 7 different ISOs that we're going to teach, 7 different ISOs that we actually go through as a team. The first ISO is the mental side to hitting, which is very controllable. It's important that players understand that the mental side of hitting is just as important as the physical side of hitting, and it's important that our players understand when you step in the batter's box, you are in a very competitive mindset, and you're also in the best, what I feel is the best one-on-one challenge in all of sports between the pitcher and the hitter. We as hitters, we want to take the approach where we are better than that pitcher, and that pitcher is not going to get us out. It's important that we have the approach of having a quality at bat. To us, a quality at bat is getting a good pitch to hit, putting a good swing on it, and after that, there's really nothing else that you can control. So we try to control the controllables, and the first thing that we're doing is we're trying to control our mental side of our approach when we step in the batter's box. So ISO 1, the mental side, is really done prior to the at-bat. It's done in practice, it's done at home. Thinking about your at-bats, it's done in BP before a game, and it's important that our hitters understand they need to step in with the correct mindset before they go ahead and do battle with the pitcher. Hitting ISO 2, we call is loose in rhythm. We feel like as hitters it's important to step in the batter's box and have a loose, relaxed body prior to the pitcher getting set to pitch. It's important that as we get in the batter's box that we're loose and relaxed. We don't want to get up there tight waiting for the pitcher. Good pitchers are going to hold the ball, and actually that tightness that the batter builds up is going to affect their swing. So we do a couple things in loose and relaxed. The first is elephant trunk, where we're just rocking back and forth with the bat. We're also rocking back and forth with our lower half. And then as we get that bat up to the hitting position, we do a couple other things. We play the piano, or we're loose and relaxed with our elbows. It's important that batters understand that they need to be loose, but they also need to develop a rhythm. There's got to be some sort of comfort level as the batters get loose and relaxed. Prior to that, as they get into the batter's box, part of the mental side and then getting into the second ISO, the loose and relaxed ISO, is actually stepping in with their back foot. Okay, what we like to do is we like to step in with our back foot, toe pointed in. That mindset of this batter's box is mine. Okay, you got to make the batter's box work for you. Kicking the dirt around, making sure you're comfortable in the batter's box, developing that mindset that this batter's box is mine. The next thing we do once we turn that toe in is we get our top wrist pointed at the pitcher. You're going to see a lot of kids want to do this here with their wrist. We want to pointed at the pitcher. When you point it at the pitcher, it's going to help you on the contact point. Some things you'll hear coaches say is line up your knocking knuckles, which is basically the same thing. We just like to simplify it and talk about the top wrist. So as I step in, my back toe is pointed in, my top wrist is pointed at the pitcher, and what we do is we take a focal point, we find a point on the bat, and we take a focal point where we narrow our vision. We take 2 eyes, find one spot on the bat. We take a deep breath with shoulders and cheeks. We go in with the shoulders, out through the cheeks. That releases a lot of tension that hitters carry with them in their back, their shoulders, and their arms. So, back toe pointed in, grip, top wrist rather, pointed at the pitcher. We take a focal point on the bat, we take a deep breath, and we have a positive swing thought. It's got to be something positive before you step in the batter's box. So once we go through that, the deep breath, the focal point, our next movement is our front foot. And our front foot, that toe needs to be pointed in as well. We don't want that front toe opened up. So my toes are all set, my grip's all set, I'm nice and loose, I've developed a rhythm. And now I'm on to hitting ISO number 3. Hitting ISO number 3 is the load position. It's probably one of the more trickier ones for kids because there are a few phases to the load position. So I'm loose, I'm relaxed. As I load, my front foot gets into what we call a reach step, okay, or a trigger. And what that does, it lets our body know, okay, get ready, it's time to swing. There's a couple things that happen though. On our reach step, our hands and our weight have got to go back to our instep of our back foot. We don't want to get outside our back foot. We want to be in that launch position right on the instep of our back foot. Our hands are back. The barrel of the bat is at a 45-degree angle over by the back shoulder. Our elbows are relaxed and pointed down. A common mistake you're going to see is a back elbow up, which at the college level, major league level, those guys can get away with it. At the youth level, at the high school level, we like to teach where our elbows are pointed down. Our hands are in what we call the launch position. So I'm loose, I'm relaxed. Now as I load, I trigger, get my weight back, and get my hands in the launch position with my bat at a 45-degree angle. My chin is on my front shoulder. My eyes are square to the pitcher. Another common mistake is kids are going to want to tilt their head. We want to keep our head, 2 eyes, right on the pitcher. It allows us to stay more balanced. So, on the trigger, it's important that we understand on the trigger, our weight stays back and our hands are back. Another common mistake is our trigger or our reach step is our hands and weight come forward. Okay, and that's danger as you start getting older. So, I'm loose. ISO number 2, I'm loose, rhythm, and now I get in that launch position, okay? Load, I'm loaded and I'm launched with my trigger step. I'm now in a powerful position, ready to attack the baseball. ISO number 4 is the contact point. Here's another common flaw. A common flaw for youth kids is they tend to hit the ball like back in here, and they get real restricted. And what happens when they get restricted, they start to clear their hips or clear their front side, and you'll see a real loopy bat. And you'll see, for me, for example, hitting the ball towards second base and first base. I'm not using the whole field. So our contact point, and if you go online and you look at some major league hitters, or if you're watching at home in slow motion, you'll see your great hitters, their contact point is out here, it's out front. Some guys might hit the ball back here, but that usually means the pitch is away. So away, middle, and then if the pitch is inside, the barrel of the bat is out front a little bit more. That contact point, for us, it's important that our players do a couple things. They lead with the knob of the bat. The hands to the ball first. My hands go from point A to point B. Some kids you'll see A, B, C, and they're in a sweeping action. We want to get our hands out front and attack the baseball out front. As pitchers, they release the ball out front. As hitters, we want to hit the ball out front. But that's the tricky part. We don't want to hit the ball out front with a total weight commitment. We want to be behind the baseball, and as I transfer my weight at that contact point, I want to keep my weight on my instep of my front foot. So we talk about loading, instep of the back foot, contact being inside the instep of our front foot. If we're outside here or outside here, we're in trouble. So what we want to do as hitters is on that contact point, we load, we go A to B. I start my weight transfer, I hit the ball out front. My chin is on the ball. We talk a lot about chin because the chin controls the head. The head controls the hands control the barrel of the bat. So to simplify it, we're talking about just keeping the chin right on the ball. The other thing is the reason we have that top hand, that grip pointed at the pitcher, is at contact. You want one palm up and one palm down. If you're already starting to turn over, or if that wrist is in this position here, you're losing power. We want to be nice and strong with that top hand. That's why that grip, that top wrist is pointed at the pitcher. So for example, as I attack the baseball, I'm in a powerful position right here. One palm up, one palm down. Chin is right on the ball. I've started my weight transfer, and that gets us to hitting ISO number 5, which is through the ball. A lot of youth players and high school players want to get to the ball and then come off the ball. We want to hit the ball at contact and get through it. Here's what we do. At contact, to get through the ball, we go 3 clicks, and we're flat through the zone. Click 1, 2, and then 3. And as you can see, my weight comes forward as I get through the baseball. So I'm here, 1 click, I go forward, 2 clicks forward, 3 clicks forward. Just be careful you're not too far out front, and you're still behind the baseball. After the 3rd click, what we do is we point the barrel of the bat, or the end of the bat, right to the infield. Now we're through. If you notice, my back foot is almost off the ground. I'm on my toe. My weight now is on that front instep. Once again, you've got to be very careful that you're not selling out and you're way out front. So I'm here, 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, and now through. Okay, I'm through, I'm right here. I have now completed my weight shift, and I've hit through the baseball. The last part is the finish, which is as important as any ISO that we do. Contact, through, 1, 2, 3. Hitting ISO now, number 6 is the finish. The finish, the head comes up to release the rest of the body. The barrel of the bat finishes above the top shoulder. My chin, my belly button, my back knee all point in the direction of where I hit the ball. And if I hit the ball to left field, I finish facing left field. I do not want to hit the ball to left and come off and go to right. Then I'm going to be off balance, or I'm going to come off the ball. The last part of the finish, I'm a big believer in releasing the top hand. Some people are, some people aren't. I'm a big believer in it because I think it allows you to finish on balance, and it allows you to stay on the ball longer. For example, at contact, as I start to get through, if I hold on to the bat with 2 hands, it's going to take me off the ball, take my head off the ball, okay? And it's going to, I'm actually like muscling up on the bat to slow the bat down. It should be a free swing. I should be here, 3 clicks, through, and then it should be a finish on balance and nice and relaxed through the baseball. The finish is vital. The finish will give you information based on what you're doing throughout your swing. Your ball flight will give you information based on what you're doing with your swing. So when you're taking batting practice, or you're hitting into a tee, off a tee rather, or if you're hitting with soft toss or short toss into the net, the ball is going to give you information. If you hit the line drive right up the middle, and the ball's pitched middle, then you're on time, on target. If that ball is popping up, probably means you're doing something with your hands or your head. There's too many fault corrections to go through at this time, but I think it's important that you watch your ball flight. Your ball flight is going to allow you to see what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. The last part, the finish, is just as important. You have to finish. Baseball is a game of exaggerations. There's not a lot of plays, there's not a lot of swings over the course of the game. It's important as players that we exaggerate our finish. You got to finish the play and then get on to the next play. So our last ISO is actually dry swings. Our dry swings are live swings without pitching. We go right through our routine. We step in, back foot, focal point, deep breath, positive swing thought, front toe in, top wrist pointed at the pitcher, and now in hitting ISO number 2. I get to the low, number 3, and then from there, 4, 5, and 6 is one continuous motion. Contact, through, and then finish. So we're actually taking dry swings. We're getting that mentality right before we actually step in the batting cage. I think it's important as hitters that we break down our swing. It's important as coaches to be able to say, okay, we need to work on hitting ISO number 4 so the players know, okay, I'm not doing something right at contact. We go through these with our kids. It's important that our players understand our ISOs. They understand the correct way to do it. They understand that the mental side is just as important as the physical side. You need one with the other. It's important for our players to get great swings. We don't want good swings, we want great swings. If a player's taking batting practice and he has a bad swing, he steps out, he flushes it, goes through his routine all over again, gets himself in the right mindset, and then he's back to hitting again. If you're not in a good mindset, you need to step out, maybe even step out, let someone else hit, and then you can slide back in and then finish your swings. So thank you for watching the video. Hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully it helps you in coaching your son or coaching a youth baseball team.